It's naturally number 9 on the list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video I released yesterday. So I am wearing the same clothes I'm wearing today because I'm recording the videos one after one another. So I won't know the feedback for yesterday's video yet because obviously I'm living in the past and you guys are watching this the next day that I released the last one, which is kind of a bit of a weird thing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's video. Dweezil came in at number 10. And I don't know if you guys agree, I don't know if you guys disagree, but I definitely thought that if a DNMK player or majority DNMK player deserved a spot on that on the top 10 list, I think Dweezil's definitely one in the main running. But now it's a bit different. It's a bit different. We're number 9. We're going to be a player which has got a bit more finals experience in the last year compared to DNMK and the rest of them. He's going to be a part of a different roster, and unfortunately that roster's just lost a player to another roster in the SA scene that may or may not be moving overseas. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure I just gave it away. But it's the whole point, it's the whole point. Coming in at number 9, I'm going to make a bold prediction or a bold conclusion and say it's going to be number Destroyed. Not number Destroyed, what am I saying? Marshawn Smith, Destroyed, number 9. It says 30 years old. He's not that much of a bully, I promise. He's not that much of a bully. That needs to be updated. HLTV, come on. But these stats may be a bit misleading. He's only got one game on HLTV this year, and that was against ATK in the final of ESEA, which was sort of a resurgence we saw from the Energy roster, which came during the latter ends of 2020. We saw pretty much the whole year it was battling out between ATK and Goliath, and then last video would have seen that it seemed to teeter more towards ATK DNMK, and then during the end of the year DNMK fell off a bit. Goliath went through a bit of roster changes, so then Energy came to the forefront of that. Then Energy pretty much cemented themselves at the end of the year as a top 2, top 3 team, and we saw a resurgence from Energy, and that was due to one of 2 players, and that being one of them being Destroyed. And I think the game we're specifically going to look at is he had an absolute lights-out series against Royalty, which was the start of the ESEA postseason, and he genuinely had a nuts series. These were the 2 maps. He got 62 frags for 27 deaths. That is genuinely nuts. But not only did Energy manage to make it to the final of ESEA Open, they were also able to make it to the final of Mzansi League, which is after this 2-1 victory against Goliath. And again, Destroyed was one of the main figures in that sort of series. He had 2 very good performances against Goliath on Mirage and Inferno, and even in the final, he was one of the players to keep an eye out for, even though they got wrecked 2-0 by ATK, which, as I said, is pretty much the storyline of this past 2020 year. He was still the player to turn up. He was still the player to perform. He was still the player to really take things into his own hands. Destroyed to sort of that heavy hit on the side of Energy. When you say Energy, the first 2 players you think / thought of were going to be Mango and Destroyed, the 2 dynamic duo, the brothers on the side of Energy, and those were really the 2 players which you thought would definitely not be a surprise if you saw those 2 at the top of the scoreboard come game day. And I mean, that's pretty much been the story for the whole year. It's just been Energy, well, not the whole year, but during the latter part of the year, it was pretty much Energy taking the reins, Destroyed and Mango being at the forefront, really just pummeling the opposition. And that's why I've chosen to make Destroyed the number 9 pick. And this was the series he had against Royalty in the first game of postseason of ESEA. And he genuinely had a lights-out performance. 32 frags on Inferno. And I think he posted 16 in this half. And considering Royalty Energy won 16-10, that 16 frags in that many rounds is really not bad at all. 16 frags in 7 rounds. 8 rounds. No, what am I saying? What? 4 and 7 in 11 rounds is really not bad at all. Destroyed is definitely one of the heavy hitters. Definitely mechanically sound. And I think we're definitely going to see it in this demo. So Doobie is back south. Panda trades him. They push EXE towards Dark, and Destroyed trades him out. And I think throughout this performance of Destroyed, it's just a little bit of a teaser to what he's got in store for next year. Of course, Mango's moved over towards ATK, so now energy a bit lost for firepower. I mean, Destroy's just doing stuff like this. Ooh. Destroy's doing stuff like that, then maybe Destroy all the firepower that energy need. But I think it is going to be an interesting year coming up for Destroy and energy pretty much as a whole. Obviously, as I said, losing Mango to ATK, and ATK looking to move overseas. Energy are down a bit of firepower, so maybe this is the chance for Destroy to take the forefront, for Destroy to really perform in a really high regard compared to his teammates in this team, and maybe this is going to be his chance to really flourish in this roster. I'm not quite sure who Energy are picking up as their fifth. I know they are playing with a stand-in for maybe the first couple of tournaments, but I know Destroyed is definitely going to be one who's going to try to take things into his own hands this coming year and really perform, and he's really got the ability to do so. He's really, as I said, mechanically sound. He's sort of the player on T side. This is why I've specifically chosen to watch T side. He's the player who can open up bomb sites on his own, right? He can really just take the aim duels, take them with confidence, and cause the CT some problems. CT side, he's sort of the player which you'll find more often than not anchoring bomb sites or find himself alone to the one side of the map. Ooh, I see you. He knows that his teammate didn't actually clear the site, fakes the bomb plant, draws out Doobie, and is able to get a frag. That was real nice attention to detail from Destroyed. But as I was saying, like, Destroyed is definitely one of those players. Strong firepower. On CT side, you'll be alone on certain maps. I think Inferno CT side, you'll see him AWPing B when you take Banana, leave one player there, rotate off, he's the player there. Nuke, he's playing over towards ramp. Sort of spots like that. He has the mechanical ability to really fend off the CTs, regardless of whether there's 5 pushing him or 1 just causing him a problem. He's one which you can rely on, and as I said, he's one where you wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 1, top 2 in the leaderboard, even in the server when it comes to matches. So I think Destroyed big games. He's also coming up. Him and his brother Mango, top performances in big games. Got to get an eco, you know. Everyone loves a good eco now and again. Definitely a big game player. Came up for energy. Unfortunately, they didn't have the run they wanted to in Telkom VS Gaming Masters, getting knocked out before the top 4. But even then, still in Mzansi Esports League, he was able to perform quite well. In ESCA, he was able to perform quite well. In EVE Sports, he was able to perform quite well. So there's many examples of where Destroyed really shows his capabilities of performing at a high level against high level opponents. And I think, as I said, the exciting part about what the comings of next year is possibly seeing how Destroyed manages on a roster with just that one less star player. You know, he can really possibly come into his own and maybe even climb my rankings. Like, as I've said multiple times, this is my opinion. There's no HLTV. There's no 10 people weighing in sort of thing. Like, I've asked a few people what they think about certain players. But for the most part, it's my opinion. It's my sort of rankings. And as I said in my intro video, in my last video, you guys are more than welcome to disagree with me. You guys are more than welcome to say Dweezil deserves to be above Destroyed, or Destroyed deserves to be above 7th place, or Destroyed is best in the country. You're more than welcome to do so. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. You can let me know on Twitter. You can let me know in the comment section below, and that's perfectly fine. Hey Shmarsh, I'm saying you're 9th player in the country and you're gonna throw an arch smoke like that. No ways, bro. Aish. Hopefully he doesn't die. I don't think he does. Hey, he doesn't. But yeah, I think this coming year for energy pretty much as a whole in terms of the Counter-Strike department will be interesting to see not only who they pick up, but also how they are able to perform this coming year. And maybe there's going to be more shuffle mania on the rosters, you know. Nice frag onto Leggy there. Oof, almost gets the 180 onto Doobie. But as HAzE alluded to in his video, which again I'll link down below, is he speaks over the annual roster mania, the roster shuffle mania. and sort of teams switching in and out players, and players ultimately just finding themselves under different banners with different teammates that they may or may not have played with before. And I think if Destroyed stays on this energy roster, and they are able to pick up another really, really good player in place of Mango, then I think he definitely has the ability to be the star player on their team. Just looks like it's going to be a lane pop here. Flash from Flexi. They're going to push lane. Triple nade into Plit. I respect that. Eish, I don't know what that molly is. It's just an eco though, so nothing really to write home about. But yeah, I think Destroyed's lights out performances during the SCA postseason. Telkom vs Masters, he was energy pretty much as a whole, pretty much had a lackluster performance. I'm pretty sure they'd all agree they didn't get to the level in which they would have hoped to. They didn't peak at the right time, I think. But they peaked late in the year, which that sort of stuff happens, you know. They able to get a good result in Mzansi Esports League, and as well as ESA Season 35, I believe. So really, really good performance overall for them in the year. I think they could be happy. They should be happy with that, performing where they did. Yes, they'll be disappointed with the VS Masters result, but I think overall, Energy had a pretty successful year, and I think the two players that reaped the rewards of that most were the brothers, were Mango and Destroyed, and I think he's just found a hole in the enemy defense on lane. He's completely walked up lane, so have his teammates, and takes out Leggy. Very nice, very nice. That smoke's not going to extinguish the molly. Gonna try to push the issue into the woods pit play. Flexi, great entry. Flexi's also one player which I think he's had the limelight in the past. Great kill into Gosnot there. That pretty much solidifies the round. He's had the limelight in the past, and he's found himself on this energy roster. Ooh. Okay. Okay, Marshawn. I see you. But yeah, Flexi and Wipeout are two of the new acquisitions for energy. New, being used very loosely in that sort of regard. They made ways with Lichlord and Tianki, and were able to pick up pretty much more firepower. You know, like maybe they lacked a bit on experience. I mean, Flexi pretty much covers up for all that experience. He's done the whole 9. He's got the t-shirts, everything you want. Ooh, hey, EXE's wilding through that molly. I respect that. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be an interesting year for what energy I've got in store. And as I said, with them losing Mango to ATK, I think now it's Destroyed's chance. It's Destroyed's chance to solidify himself as the star player, as the top fragger, as the main man in the team, and he's definitely the player that can cause other teams problems. I think, as I said, on T side, he's definitely the player to start abusing that sort of. Clearly hasn't been enough KZ, but I think he's definitely that player to start finding and abusing those holes in the enemy defense and stuff like that, which makes him really scary to play against. This is actually a triple lane from Royalty, and to be frank, they got absolutely wrecked. EXE tries to go big, but Flexi trades him out, and Deep in a 1v1. I mean, I think this year is going to be, it's going to be whatever Destroyed makes of it, if that makes sense. If Destroyed chooses to put in the hours, chooses to put in the work, which he definitely will. Yeah, easy as you like. Then I think this year's his oyster. I think this year he can perform at the top of his game. He can really put energy into that top 3 conversation like they were last year, especially towards the end of last year. They were definitely in that top 2, top 3 conversation. People were saying when ATK leaves, that being the ATK with Doru, not with Mango. That being the ATK of when they leave, who's going to solidify that number 1 position? Is it going to be Goliath with Elusive and Dweezil, or is it going to be Energy? You know, and that was a sort of conversation bouncing around between players, and that was the thing that we came to think. And I think Energy were probably having a bit of a lean in that regard, considering the the latter stages of the performances of Goliath, especially with energy beating them out in a couple BO3s here and there. And I think it is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, that Goliath roster was a new roster at that. It just was a bit of a disjointed attack from... Okay, gets a double spray down, half HP. 1v2, 1v4 turned 1v2. Now, I already know the results of this round, but don't want to spoil it. I think he missed the lurk smoke. He did, but it's fine. Landed a bit lower than it should have. Usually want the lurk smoke to land a little bit above the hay bale, so that when you come out of apps like this, you're not spotted at all. If there was a player arch, you would have been seen, but very nice, very nice. I think Destroy's thinking there was he's going to throw this util and sort of wait a bit so that the players coming out could see that no one was coming out with the util, and then you do the hit him with the 180 and actually come out with it and show presence, and then delay, and then actually come out with it afterwards. Because when you see that util's been thrown, more often than not you're like, okay, he's thrown util, he's in apps. That dog's barking, what? And they usually see that no one's coming out, so he must be coming somewhere else, and then he comes out delayed. But 1v4, 1v1 post plant, tap on the bomb, sees that he hasn't stuck, he's gonna come out regardless and win out the round. Great 1v4 from Destroyed, and that's pretty much in a round what Destroyed can give you in your team, pretty much single-handedly winning the round for energy. And I think that's definitely, as I've said multiple times, and it's going to be the theme of next year's Destroyed's going to make sure whatever he wants to make it, you know, that he's still going to be underneath the 3 other players, or not underneath rather, but he's going to be alongside the 3 other players, and the 5th player is going to be questionable. I'm not sure who they're going to pick up. I'm not sure what sort of players are in the conversation. It's a little bit of a knife to the throat, a fast beat to end off the game. Hopefully end off the game. Bit delayed. Okay, Wipeout gets EXE. Allows them to enter the box up. Ooh, okay. Bit of a 180. Destroyed gets 2. As easy as you like. And that's the game over and done with. That was the first game of the series, and Marshawn, aka Destroyed, really showing his way. And I think, as I said multiple times, Destroyed has the ability of making this next year whatever he wants to. He has the ability to really turn the screw, even without his brother on the team. Mango, obviously, as I said, he's moved over to ATK. I think Destroyed can definitely become the star player that Energy need, and maybe they don't have to pick up another fragger. They've got enough firepower as it is, right? And that's the one thing was around that sort of question. HAzE again alluded to it in his video. He spoke about, yes, Energy have now picked up 2 good fraggers with Flexi and Wipeout, but who's going to do the dirty work? You know, they had Lichlord and Tianki before, and now they've brought in more firepower. And maybe with the loss of Mango, maybe they don't need to pick up another person with a lot of firepower, because Destroyed can not necessarily fill his shoes, because they were sort of working alongside one another, being the 2 big power hitters in the team. But I think maybe Energy don't have to pick up more firepower, because they've got it. They've got it in Destroyed. They've got it in heaps and bounds with Destroyed. They've got it in Wipeout. They've got it in Panda and Flexi doing his job. And I think Energy can make this year whatever they want to, depending on who they pick up. And again, Destroyed coming in at number 9. I think he's proved his ability to be in the conversation for a top 10 player. And in my opinion, I definitely think he deserves a spot in this top 10. But again, guys, my opinion, you're more than welcome to disagree. You're more than welcome to let me know your opinions down in the comments below, or over on my Twitter at NickBart. And yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. But yeah, just Destroyed coming in at number 9. You should be able to tune in tomorrow to see who comes in at number 8. You guys can comment down below your predictions for number 8. That would be pretty sick. Yeah, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon to know when my next upload is live. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, share it with someone if you think they should know more about not only our scene, but also the players who are playing in our scene, whether it's a local player that you're sharing it with, or whether it's an international. It all helps at the end of the day. So guys, thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip.